All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of To The Show Baseball Podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, I dipped into the St. Louis Cardinals system. I got left-handed pitcher Brycen Mautz on, and he's a former second-round pick. That's now in Double-A. It's getting his first taste of Double-A this year, and he's had a great start to the year. He's fresh off winning Double-A Pitcher of the Week there for Springfield. And we talk a little bit about that, what he was up to in the offseason. Obviously, he had a very busy year last year. So we do dive into all that and kind of see like what things are working for him and just kind of pick his brain a little bit on that. But before I go any further, whether you're watching me on YouTube right now, listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Helps me out a ton, and I always appreciate it. But without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Brycen Mautz. All right, I am joined by Cardinals pitching prospect, Brycen Mautz. Brycen is fresh off of winning a Player of the Week award at Double-A last week, and that's kind of where I want to start. Brycen, obviously you've had a pretty good start to the year. How are things going? How are you feeling so far?
Yeah, things are great. Getting my first taste of Double-A this year, and figuring out what it takes at this level, and the little adjustments that need to be made moving up from being in high AL last year.
Yeah, I do want to dig into that as well. Obviously, you're fresh to Double-A, and have you noticed like any changes? I know that obviously last year you were in high A and low A before that, but have you noticed any changes as you got into Double-A?
I mean, 3 starts in, kind of a small sample size. I got a little bit of taste of what Double-A hitters were like in the fall league coming into this year, so that gave me an idea of where where I needed to improve. And I mean, it's just like the hitters are better every level you move up. Your margin for error just shrinks and shrinks. So learning where I need to make sure I'm in the right places, and not giving them the opportunities that maybe I could have got away with at lower levels.
And so you like you said, it's very small sample size, and you're only 3 starts in. I get that, but your last 2 starts, you had 6 punch outs and you had 8 the start before that. What have you been noticing about yourself this year? Like, are you? I saw that your velocity had upticked, and you possibly added a new pitch and revamped another one of your pitches. So what's been working for you in 25?
Yeah, so I had a little bit of a velo jump, sitting more in like the 93, 95 range versus a little more low 90s last year. That's definitely helped buy me some room. I added a cutter this offseason to help neutralize righties some more, and then just continued working on keeping the slider my main thing, building up the curveball to continue to be a good strike stealing pitch. And then I've had a big jump with the changeup, both like with shape and being able to consistently throw it in the zone.
So was that something, you obviously added a cutter and possibly like revamped other pitches as well, but is that something that the organization kind of approaches you about and says, hey, we think you'd be good at this? Or was that more of you just being like, I think I could throw this and throw it successfully? Which one was it?
Yeah, I definitely had help from the organization. I had a little bit of a righty problem last year. All the damage I gave up was really to right-handed hitters. So after the season, they came to me and were like, "Hey, let's think about a cutter, something else you could work into righties to keep them off the fastball, and have an additional pitch that you could feel comfortable with, and like limit damage counts."
And so I do want to dip back. You did bring up, you pitching in the fall league last year. I feel like last season was probably, I'm going to guess, was one of the longest baseball years of your career, even back to college, because you pitched all the way through the Arizona Fall League. So going into your very short off season, I guess, what did you do? Did you like kind of take it easy a little bit? Did you never really fully stop? Like, how did you treat your off season?
Yeah, I never really got the chance to, step back just with the fall league running into the middle of November there, and then it's like it's December and you got to be ready, and then January's right around the corner, and so I never really got the chance to fully step back, but I think it was the best for me, moving from starting all year, and then I moved into the bullpen for the fall league. So that gave me a nice opportunity to, lessen my workload, kind of like deload a little bit, but still give me an opportunity to like actually see how the things I'm changing play out in a game scenario.
Yeah, how was that actually going to the bullpen? Because you hadn't come out of in a relief appearance since you were at San Diego. So I guess how was that just trying to adapt and kind of do that in the fall league?
Yeah, it was a bit of an adjustment. I mean, you get stuck on such a routine as a starter. You get used to knowing when you're going to throw, like having all that good prep time leading up right into the start. So it's a bit of an adjustment to figure out what I needed to do to put my body in the best position to be ready to throw, and then being able to mentally flip the switch a little quicker than a starter would. But after the first week and a half, I kind of figured that out and was able to settle in nicely.
So I want to ask about your spring training a little bit, and it seems like you're a vet now. You've done 3 of these now, but what was it like this year? I guess what kind of things were you working on during spring? What was your experience like?
Yeah, so coming into this spring, like you said, like I've had a few under my belt. I know what's coming. We had some changes to our farm system in terms of like front office staff, new coordinators and stuff like that. So there was a little bit new to learn, but really happy with the people that we brought in and the new philosophies that we got working as an organization now. But my biggest thing was to like really push myself this spring and do things that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with. Like in the past, it was all about just like trying to perform the best I could in spring. This one, I came into it like I'm gonna put myself in some uncomfortable scenarios where like early in counts, like I'm only gonna throw changeups. Like really force myself to do things that I know are gonna help me down the line that in the past I would have shied away from a little bit just because I wanted to just dominate in that moment.
And so I know we talked about it a little bit. You officially got up to Double A this year. It's your 3 starts in, but has it soaked into you yet, or has it kind of hit you yet that you're 2 calls away from the majors now? Like, is that something that once you got assigned to Double A, you're like, oh shoot, like I got one more stop, and then it's the majors ahead of that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great thought. Something I try and remind myself of a lot, just to like keep myself in check and be like, hey, like you really are right there. You're I don't know, you put together a good string of starts and you could be moving up and then you're right there.
I feel like every guy I talk to, it's one of 2 different things. You know, I feel like everybody, a lot of fans are very, I guess, ranking driven, the prospect rankings. It's like if you're not a top 10 guy, 15 guy, some people just aren't going to pay attention to you. But for yourself as a player, because I've heard it go both ways, do you pay attention to like any of the rankings or I guess any of the publications out there that do rank prospects? Like, are you looking at any of that?
I used to, not so much anymore. Um, like something I realized very on is like, or early on, is like the rankings are great, but the rankings don't necessarily it doesn't determine when people are going to get there or like I mean even if they are because you see it happen every single year like some dude that most people have never heard of before shows up looking like a different guy and then like month and a half later they're in the show and they're there all year. um so it's something I try and I don't really pay attention to that much anymore, and I just want to stay focused on what I'm doing and let the game be my feedback.
Yeah, I feel like it's always like 2 different ways. And, you know, I've talked to guys and whether they want to admit it or not, some of the guys are like, yeah, I'm searching my name on Twitter all the time, or I'm doing this or doing that. And some guys are just like, you know, the rankings really don't matter because it's like you said, all the journeys come in every shape and size, like whatever it is. So I did see though, I wanted to ask you as well. I know we kind of talked about, you know, you winning player of the week, and I know that's not something that you probably go into a week and be like, I want to win player of the week this week. I know that's probably not a thought in your mind. You just want to go out there and get outs and put up good numbers. But Was it kind of cool though to like be recognized by like minor league baseball? I know you've done it before, but just kind of earn that player of the week. And it's like, minor league baseball is putting your name all over the place. Like, is that like at least kind of a cool feeling to be recognized for that?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. It's always awesome when you get recognition and to know that like your work's paying off and like you had one of the better weeks out of everyone in the Texas League in this case. But yeah, definitely this week I got a double start week, the Tuesday, Sunday, so that puts me in a position to do it again if I can put up some good numbers on Sunday. So it's a little bit of a goal to be a repeat.
Yeah, and obviously, I did want to ask as well about a couple other lefty arms in the Cardinal system. Obviously, you're a lefty now in Double A, so you're coming into a picture of death at some point within the next couple of years. And with having arms in their system, obviously like Cooper before his Tommy John surgery, and you have Liebator as well up at the major league level. But during like spring or like the past year, have you had any chance to like pick any brains of any of the other lefty arms? And maybe if you said you had a righty problem last year, it's like, have you maybe talked to another lefty in the system, be like, hey, what have you done to get righties out? Like, have you ever had any experiences like that?
Yeah, we had a really cool opportunity last year in High A. We had me, Cooper, Pete Hansen, and Quinn Matthews, all of us in the same rotation. And so teams were seeing 5 lefties a week, which is not too fun for them. We had a good time with it, but being able to see like that many lefties throw in a row and approach the same lineups that I'm seeing, like we're all seeing pretty similar lineups. That was really cool to see and see how those guys handle those situations.
I'll tell you this. I covered, Worcester for the last 3 years. And, I met a guy named Hein Bloom out there, and he had 8 left-handers in Worcester's bullpen at one time. It was incredible. I've never seen that many lefties on a roster before. So I always joked with Hein that he just loves his lefties, and it's kind of cool that you guys have a ton of them in the system as well.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple more questions before I let you slide.
All right.
What does Brycen Mautz do on the Monday off day, or maybe just a day off? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, day back. Just try and separate from the game a little bit. I mean, we have those 6 days in a row. I mean, I don't really do all that much. Usually that's my day to get the grocery shopping done for the week and prepare myself for the upcoming week. Then we got a nice little indoor court at our apartment complex this year. So
Okay.
been shooting around a little bit, trying to figure out my shot because it has not been good.
I'm surprised you didn't say anything about golfing. I've never had a pitcher come on here that said weren't golfing on the off day.
Yeah, I'm not a huge golf guy. I
Wow.
went a little bit in high school, started to get into it, and then I ran into some low back issues my senior year of high school, and I've just kind of kept my distance since. Don't want to let that get in the way of anything.
A pitcher from California that doesn't golf. That's definitely a
It's rare.
first yeah, that's super rare. But you don't play video games. You're not using your real 99, like nothing like that.
No, I've never been a huge video game guy. Yeah, I haven't had a console since like early in college.
Wow.
Yeah, watch some shows, read. That's about it.
I'm telling you, every single guy that I talk to throughout the weeks, they're golfing, they're playing MLB The Show, Call of Duty, like whatever it is. You're just not on either one of them. That's crazy. All right, yeah. I every single pitcher I really talk to, it's like, yeah, all the pitchers, that's all they do. So are you probably the only pitcher on that staff in Springfield that's not golfing?
Yeah. I mean, last Monday, the 4 other starters all went and golf together, and
Okay.
it's something I would do. I just don't know if I want to don't want to risk anything right now.
No, that's fair. I got a question about Springfield here.
Yes.
I went to the great school at the University of Missouri up in Columbia. So not Missouri State though, but I have been to Springfield a few times. For yourself, I'm assuming you've probably never been to Springfield before. What are your early thoughts of the town? They call it Spring Vegas, but I'm not calling it that.
Yeah, it's been great so far. Especially coming off of being in Peoria last year. It's like a super quiet town, not a whole lot going on. So to be in a city with like a little more life has definitely been great. Nice to have a lot of like nice restaurants around, coffee shops, place that actually's got something to do.
I'm not going to tell my wife, who's a Bradley University alum, that you
Ah,
said that about Peoria, but it's all good. Yeah, I love Springfield. Obviously, when you get to Memphis, there's going to be a lot more to do up there, but that's in the cards for later this year. Okay, I got one question left before I let you slide.
all right.
I talked a little bit about like you win a player of the week and all that, but that aside, is there any other early season goals that you're looking to accomplish, whether it's like numbers wise or just velo wise? Like, is there anything else that you're looking to accomplish here in early 2025?
Early in the season, I mean, I love to just get to being at a point where like I was at the end of last year where it felt like I was going to go out there and it was going to be 6 innings regardless. So to get back to that point where my body feels like it's in a point where it's like 6 innings is the bare minimum, like I'm getting there. So I'd like to be that guy for our staff. Velo wise, it's been solid. I mean, I'd like to keep it, ideally, keep climbing it a little bit as my body continues to adjust to the workload. Outside of that, uh, it's all about just attacking guys for me. I don't really have any like strikeout numbers or anything like that. I'm looking for just attack dudes, keep the free bases down, and should be good to go.
All right, Brycen. Well, thank you so much for doing this, and obviously, best of luck going forward. But thank you so much for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.